Can you allow me sharing the screen?
Shall I allow it, or
Yeah, please.
how can I do that?
Share screen, allow other participants to share probably.
It says one participant can share at a time. I think you should be able to share the screen,
Up,
don't you?
disabled for now.
Okay.
I didn't have any time to work on the snap this week, so nothing new from my side. Uh, but let's go according to the plan through the meta shape today, right?
Okay, let's do it. I tried to add a few things to Gilberto's text. Um, I think you won't agree with me, but I just, I just try to understand all these things because you mentioned Renaissance and Michelangelo and all these things, so I searched for this and I could find something from Leonardo and so on. And I tried to figure out what the hell triangulation was, and I just realized it's that simple that if you use triangles to measure something, it's triangulation. It's that simple. Even with this is my process to understand the program. And that's why I created those graphics, but let's get into Metashape now.
Yeah, but you still have to let me share my screen.
Uh, Still, I have to do. I don't know how to do it because I haven't received any notification on your attempt.
Pause disabled participant screen sharing. That's my Zoom.
Let's see,
I think you
advanced.
have to.
Okay. Who can share? All participants. Who can start sharing when someone is sharing?
Okay, great. It's
Okay,
okay
let's all. Okay, sorry.
now. Okay.
Yay.
So yeah, now we are at my on my meta shape.
Okay.
Okay, so where should we start?
Um,
Uh,
well, we can maybe discuss the survey part.
mhm,
So we talk about the general things,
yeah,
and then we will show what we exactly did with this building. And so I can see how many. So I think it would make sense, at least to me, to show that it's quite understandable from here that so you had an outside drone. It's quite straightforward to understand what it is. We
mhm,
have a main room, a back room, a roof, a bare
yeah.
room.
These are the chunks,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then some chunks are already merged together.
Yes.
Um, let's start with. Okay, so first there's a. Okay, you upload pictures like I don't know. In this case, like 600 pictures from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the pictures, you know. Uh, like I was explaining, I usually take raw pictures because I can then set what is like interesting to the photogrammetry. So in this case, you know, the roof has to be at the right aperture or the right lighting. The background can be too dark or too light. And like here in the bell, you can see anything inside, but it really doesn't matter because it's too far to be of any of a lot of use for the photogrammetry. So I usually spend a lot of time doing that. So it means I have less work on the field because you know the pictures can be a little bit dark or a little bit overexposed and can be corrected then behind computer. That's basically what I prefer. It could be done other ways if you take careful to take the pictures with the correct lighting. Uh, that could work as well. Okay, then we have the next step uh, is of course you can start with the align photos. This is just the first step to start working. Uh, there's of course options. There's a lot of stuff to do. The accuracy is the most important one. So the highest leaves all the data for the pictures intact. So if you go down, it actually it downsamples the input pictures. I kind of don't like that because I like to have a lot of points and then throw the points away after another criterion, which is like confidence, so that we are not losing the information. Like let's say let's throw half of the information away if you go one step down, but to work with all the information and then to get rid of the information because there's too much information, but by the other criterion, by the criterion of how good the informations are.
Yeah, so that's important. So that's why we have to suggest to use the highest setting.
Yeah, but that's like
And just we will add them a sentence why and what you
yeah, we
what
can,
you've
but
just said.
that means we are doing kind of a really a manual. So
Yeah,
the other information, the other options are not that really.
relevant.
Some are speeding up the process, like this preselection, that it doesn't compute all the pictures it has, um, and they're like the limits that can be set at different values. But usually the default settings are more or less okay. So what we get out of it is are these scale point cloud type points here named. So
Yeah,
that's after the calculation.
this is a spare point
Yeah,
cloud.
that's a spare point cloud. Okay, and then we have, okay, this is like the professional version of MetaShape.
Yes.
That's why there were some options missing from what we were looking at yesterday. So one is these markers. With the detect markers, he then calculates, he finds these markers on the picture. So if we turn on the markers, so the result is, okay, he puts the targets, these are these points on the picture. If we look at the pictures, with more markers. Okay.
What does target mean? Is it the camera target? Like the center line of
Yeah,
the.
he recognized this is the target, and he
That's the
recognized
target. Okay.
that's the target. He recognized it in the middle. So the green ones, here you have the green ones, that means he recognized it and it's visible. These white ones are on the opposite side.
Okay. But how do you teach the software to recognize these markers?
That's automatically because he knows the shape of this shapes tells him the number. No, that's the number 16. And he puts it in the middle of the.
Okay, but first you have to give this data to the software, right? Maybe you told this before. Sorry, because
Yeah,
maybe I was lost at the beginning.
yeah.
So.
No, that's the first is after you have this spare point cloud
Mm-hmm.
with these tools, markers, detect markers.
Detect markers.
Uh, he does this. He puts these flags on the markers.
Mm-hmm.
He recognizes it, and he recognizes it with the number.
So the okay.
So so before this, it's like that, and the process. If we put these tools, markers, detect markers, the result is this.
Okay, from where do you get the markers? I mean, what you print? Do you?
Yeah, you print it. Tools, markers, print markers.
So first you start from here.
But these are generic markers. He makes a PDF file, and then you can.
Okay, so even before you go to the survey place,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You generate these markers
Yes.
already from the file you will work with.
These are generic
Uh,
markers. They are this all the time the same.
okay,
Always the
so
same.
one is all the time the same pattern, two is all the time the
Yeah.
same. Okay.
For meta shape, the number three is always looks like this.
Okay, okay. I thought
Number
it was
four always
always
looks like.
different.
Yeah, no, it is the same, and I have a bunch of them printed for every product, for every
Okay,
project,
okay,
and I
okay,
usually make them smaller, like six on the one A4 page.
okay.
Uh,
Sorry, so
it's
I
like
don't know
the
why I thought it was always different, but okay.
yeah, it doesn't have to be.
So
So
like each of these marker means a number,
yeah,
as if it was a different language or code or something. Okay.
yeah, just the identification, so that you can
Mm-hmm.
then put the measures. You have to write between 75,
Mm-hmm.
57, and I don't know, 58 is like 70 centimeters.
Okay, so if
You
you are
can,
good enough, you don't need to read the number. You just look at it and you know the number. Okay.
well, you
If you
cannot read
if you're a
it.
chess player, you can do
Yeah,
this.
okay, maybe. um,
Okay, cool. Okay, sorry. Okay, now it makes sense. Okay.
so this like now we have the targets, and when you go back to the time point to the type points to the scale point cloud, you have the points. You have the targets on
Mm-hmm.
the model.
Okay, clear.
So, but you don't have these lines that you see here
Mm-hmm.
yet. This is the calibration process that you put the hand measures in. So there's another thing that was missing there. This reference. I was telling you find another button there. Uh, so every picture that you have has if it's done with GPS, photoapparat or drone, it has coordinates in. But these coordinates have to be thrown away because they are not accurate enough. By default, the accuracy in MetaShape is set to 10 meters, so that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of useful. Of course, the accuracy is much better. In reality, if you don't go with the measurement, actually the results are quite okay. Also, if you have a drone and if it's sunny, you have a lot of satellites visible. Also, not Arctica drones, not Arctica GPS coordinates are relatively okay. But still, for this kind of precision, you have to throw it away. So, because otherwise you cannot manually um, calibrate calibrate the model. So you have these are the targets that we have. You see, like 14 is here the red one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we have like okay the information so on how many pictures they are identified, what's the error in pixels from what he calculated. So how sure he is that the target is on the right spot. So if this is a high number, you have to check it manually. Why is it off too much? And if it's too much, you just ignore it if you can afford to. And the calibration goes, let's say, between if you have a measurement between number 14 and 4 that we make by hand, we create, so, okay, we select these two, we create so-called scale bar,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Um, so at the bottom, here down, these are scale bars that are already created. These are all these lines that are showing. So we added now target 4, between target 4 and 14. We have to add the manual um, the distances. So that's what we were measuring by the tape. So here at the bottom there are all other targets that we created. You can see what we press, what we can see like here. This one is here. And you put the measurement. So
Mm-hmm.
1 meter 33, and then you can also add the accuracy that
Mm-hmm.
I believe is. I usually put it plus 1 centimeter accuracy because it's usually not more than that. It's uh, and this stuff, this is used to calibrate. So at the end we have like his estimate of the accuracy error. So like these targets, it should be 1 centimeter off. This one should be 3 millimeters off, 2 millimeters off. So they are sorted by errors on one on the other side. So we are usually talking about this 1 centimeter is actually the calculated error, but this is also the error that is done by measurement because it's not, on this like of big differences. If you go with the laser scanner, it's hard to be in millimeter precision in reality. Also with
Okay.
the tape, it gets, with the weight, it's not really straight and there are some millimeters wrong. So when we have this, we go to calibrate the model. So this is like here is the update transform. So at that time, that could actually be interesting to see. At that time, he he um, he adjusts the size of the building according to the measurement we put in. So when we put uh, uh, the update here, the update,
Mm-hmm.
we actually get these error numbers out.
Mm-hmm.
But they are not before. They are not here before because then he calculates what we input and what he calculates. And of course, if the number is higher, it means if I mistyped here, like for I don't know, for 1 comma, it's not, it's 7 meters, and I put it 75 centimeters, which can happen. Then I can see that there is like a huge error, and then you go to check why is it what's wrong. So even if we have a measurement that we failed or there is somehow error on the survey time, then we just discard it. But I usually know that there was something wrong with the measurement after this.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a lot of measurement or enough of this, it's not a problem just to okay, there's something is wrong with this measurement. Let's ignore it because otherwise it makes mess. So there's this update this forum.
And will this change the model in any way? Like, can you
Yeah,
see
it does.
visually scaling the
Yeah,
model?
it does. It does. It adjusts it to some centimeters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you put here like 5 meters. Which one we added? 4 to 14. It's probably at the end. It's wrong for 1 meter and 6 because we just made it up. But with now the update, I press the update. So did you see the picture has changed a little bit? Let's play with it. Let's put here some, I don't know. I will now add it. Just remember me not to save the
Okay.
model. So we have put some different numbers, and now to take a look at the church, and I'll
Okay.
press the
Okay.
update. It changed the zoom as well.
Ah. Okay.
He slightly distorted the building,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
calibrated to this number, and that's this calibration
So
that.
the model view has a scale. It's not unscaled, but you can see how it changes. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, you can see it visually. So for the first step, when you first put the numbers, not okay, it gets big scaling. So I know that it's like 10 meters from here to here, and not 10 centimeters.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you populate the scale bars, it's just adjusted to relative precision. And of course, it's more precise when we were having these measurements, as is in the rooftop where we don't have this control uh, control stuff.
And so you always use this update transfer button. There's no other
Yeah,
button, just this
yeah,
one. Okay.
yeah. There's of course you can play around. There's this optimized camera alignment that you also, yeah. But there's this Pandora's box.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes in the middle you have to do as well another step of camera optimizing. It also increases the precision of the model. So these are the steps that are, I don't know, done at the beginning. Um, when we have this, we move to the general point cloud. Okay. To the next processing, if you have in the workflow. So now we've done aligned photos, and we actually calibrated them uh, with the help of the targets. Um, okay, then we go to the do I have an to the point cloud? There is a Slovenian word očiščen, that means cleaned up.
Okay.
Uh, then there's a lot of work. Okay, you see this point here, it's of course false. It should not be here, or, because it's like um, it's a it's an error port. So when you have to get rid of all these uh, points that are not useful. That
Mm-hmm.
are
Actually, we have the same word. Tista is, I think, it's the same word. It's,
and as well everything from surrounding. Uh, so if you compare so I threw all these points away
yeah, yeah.
in this step. So one are like simple to do. Then when you go to the details, you can do this time and time again, and you can always find you know,
Mm-hmm.
like a point that's like there's
Flying.
nothing to do here. Some are like simple to identify, but then I don't know, when you get to more, it's harder to work with. I don't know, with some other with some other details. Then of course you can just work with some section, and then how precise you are in this step, it takes a little to a lot of time.
So this is the dense point cloud, right?
Yeah, already the dense point cloud. Yeah, because from now on we usually then work from the dense point cloud, so it doesn't make much sense to clean up and to work a lot of with the spell point cloud. We work here to get the geometry right, but most of this noise and can stay here. Um, and another thing, I was at the beginning, I said let's do with this as much information as we can. When we calculate, there's an options that we always put on that says calculate confidence.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the confidence is now that the software calculates how sure he is that some point is at the right location. So here we have the scale bar. So 1 is less confident, 100 is almost completely sure that this is the correct location. And of course, this depends on how many pictures some point can be seen. Um, so the roof is relatively simple, and he's quite sure that the roof is there. And you see there are no more red points here because I have I have cleaned up I actually I threw the bad points away. So not at the beginning, but rather at this step. Uh, Here we start like cleaning, but not like every second point to throw away. Because anyhow, you see there's like a lot of points. It's too much points for working afterwards. but we are throwing it the way like the smart way. So the points that have lower accuracy are thrown away. And of course, I can like select like filter by confidence. Okay, I've thrown number one away, so we can see the really bad the next, I don't know, between 2 and 5 error. We'll see. So these are the points that are uh, that computer is less sure
Mm-hmm.
that they are really good. So if you have a lot of points, we can uh, decide, okay, let's throw all these points away. Um, it always takes some time that calculates how many points are selected. I don't know why is that. So at some point now we have 500 millions. Uh, at some time he will update, we'll see how many points we have selected. And I don't know, we'll throw them away. I have thrown too much points away now. I usually throw just the level 1 away. Um, and you see, I've thrown too much points away.
Mm-hmm.
These are now these are the only that are relatively quite sure. But of course, now you see what's so the roof is okay because we have a good lighting, a lot of pictures overlapping. We have less pictures from the bottom side.
Yes.
And we still don't know how many points it's asking to calculate. Um, and of course we can like see here the elevation, that's just the color, what's up and what's down. Doesn't really matter. What we could do, but we usually don't need to, this is classes. So we can say up to some point he can classify this automatically. So he knows what is greenery, what are big trees, what are small trees, what are I don't know. He knows what electrical poles are. He
Mm-hmm.
can separate some stuff, which is then easier to work. But then again, it's not that important for what we do. But we could like classify it to set like okay the bell. Now we could put okay all these points will be called the bells. The bell, and then we can work. We can turn it off or turn it on anyhow. Okay, but I'm just showing you that it's not that useful for what we are doing. And that is more or less that. But from now on, we can go to the next step. We can build orthomosaics. These are these pictures.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go at the um, okay. I have now switched to the chunks that are already joined. We
Mm-hmm.
work this for every chunk. For every chunk separate, all these steps have to be done. Let's go before we go there. Let's go for the let's see the chunks. So we'll kind of disable everything. Okay, let's see the main room. So that's one chunk, the
Mm-hmm.
main room. Um, then we have the like next chunk, let's say the back room. Enable it.
We have 10 more minutes before
Yeah,
the.
okay, then we just reconnect.
Okay.
Uh, okay, and you see this button here at the right, this one shows all chunks that are aligned, and these two chunks are already aligned. So the back room fits perfectly
Mm-hmm.
where it should be, because they are, okay, let's disable this one. It will be easier to see here. And if we put on the targets again and the measurements, so you know the target, I don't know, 38, target 3, and target 19 are as well, or probably this one, these are the three targets that are the same on this chunk and on the chunk of the main room.
Mm-hmm.
So when you put in the workfine align chunks, you select, okay, so now we have the main room and the back room. Please align them,
Mm-hmm.
and you just
Marker
okay,
based.
that's the point base. It will calculate, and it takes a lot of time. It's not that good. So marker base, that means he will just add it to he will just, if you have 3 points non-planar, he can add it together. And so all the chunks are now are aligned in this way.
Mm-hmm.
So now you just no, sorry, no, the chunk and the okay, outside drone as well. But we've kind of erased a lot of data from the outside chunk.
And I assume if you align them in a good way, it doesn't make too much sense to merge the chunks, right? Because you always have the option to switch off some parts and use some of them only.
Yeah, you are right. However, the only difference is I cannot, I don't know why. So if we try to manipulate, like to make a cross section, uh, he just selected the active chunk. I cannot make a section of a building if I have more chunks because he doesn't know how to do it.
So when you merge chunks, you keep the originals as well.
Yeah. I keep the originals, and then you have like roof merged and plinth, merged. I
Mm-hmm.
usually add it, and so there's a this chunk are merged all. This one
Mm-hmm.
has everything, and then we have I just outside and no roof. Uh, because I don't know, the roof is not that good or that interesting here. So we are talking about the attic, not the roof. Um,
What we can
and
see on the screen, is it the scaling that you made?
yeah,
Okay.
why we were
It's
playing.
quite visible now.
Yeah. So we were
Okay.
playing with the numbers, and that has happened. Yeah. The chunk we were scaling is now false, and it's
Okay.
uh, um, that's the outside down, right? So this one is false. Huh? Now everything is all right. Um, um, okay, and after that we go to the other option. So it's the model. That's the 3D model. Uh, let's let's switch now off all this. Let's model. Let's just so I don't have so okay. The most useful will be this one. Let's work with this chunk now. So we have the sparse model. Then we have the point cloud, which is the ultra high quality. And then I have downsampled it. This one has like 1,300,000,000 points, and then it's downsampled to 5 million points.
Mm-hmm.
That means every 10 millimeters there is 1 point. It's you see it's still more than enough to work, but it's again not done that we throw, I don't know, every second point away, but the point that they create the same density at about 10 millimeters, like every 10 millimeters there's 1 point. The next step is, of course, 3D model.
I have a call. Can I take it? I don't know the number. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hello. Jó napot. Igen. Most most éppen egy videóbeszélgetésben vagyok, nem tudom, hogy mennyi idő múlva lenne esetleg újra. Aha. Mhm. Mhm. Hát, hogyha egy ilyen 5 percben esetleg, vagy 2 percben tudnék vele beszélni, úgyis az az a lényeg, hogyha látja ennek értelmét, akkor egy e-mailt kell küldjek. Jó. Jó, akkor próbáljuk meg. Okay. Sorry, I have to answer this phone. It takes 5 minutes, okay? Jó napot kívánok, Mátyás Gábor vagyok, Ékegyesület. Nem tudom, hogy a kolléganője mennyire tudta elővezetni azt, amivel én kerestem önöket, de van egy Erasmus Plus programunk, felnőttudatás, felnőttképzési program, amiben részt veszünk, és ez fotogrammetriai tananyagot állít elő, ingyenesen hozzáférhető. Fotogrammetria az ilyen fényképészet segítségével épületfelmérés tulajdonképpen. És hát ugye maga a programunk is arról szól, hogy ezt minél több emberhez eljutatni, de egyik célcsoport az konkrétan mondjuk álláskeresők, vagy olyanok, akik esetleg gondolkoznak abban, hogy valamilyen szempontból pályát váltsanak, vagy újabb dolgokat tanuljanak meg, és azért gondoltuk, hogy esetleg valami együttműködést esetleg jól kialakítani önökkel, vagy hasonló szervezetekkel. És nem tudom, van erre valami modell, vagy van erre lehetőség, hogy esetleg a mi tanulmunkat önök is reklámozzák, vagy konkrétan ez online elérhető dolgok lennének, és lesznek ezzel kapcsolatban rendezvényeink is egyébként, tehát ilyen multiplikációs rendezvényt fogunk tartani például, meg lesz egy alkalom szeptemberben, amikor részt is lehet venni ilyen mérésben. Nagy vonalakban ez a keresés lényege. Mm. Mi veszünk részt, tehát mi vagyunk a programban résztvevők, egy portugál egyetem a koordinátor ennek, ezt egy partnerünk van, és akkor létrehozunk egy oktatási tananyagot, tulajdonképpen így néz ki a maga az Erasmus program, és a mi célunk az igazából a terjesztés, hogy akkor utána ez eljusson a megfelelő célszínekbe, ahogy a programban meg van határozva. Igen. Gyömrő, Pest megye, Gyömrő. Egyesület vagyunk, Közhasznú Egyesület. Hát jelenleg nincsen még, de ilyeneket szeretnék legyártani, és valami ilyesmire gondoltunk, hogy igen, hogy nem tudom, hogy működik most ez a modell, vannak ilyen kérdési javaslataik. Tehát, hogyha elmegy valaki álláskeresőnek, akkor tehát azt gondoltam, hogy lehetőleg valami adatbázis, amiben ajánlanak ilyen tanfolyamokat, és akkor ez egy ingyenes tanfolyam lehetőség lenne. ami az igazából nem is egy klasszikus tanfolyam, csak hozzáférés egy oktatási anyaghoz. Tehát az ilyen fajta úgymond reklám, ami nekünk hasznos lenne, hogy közvetlenül eljutni mondjuk bizonyos emberekhez, hogy javasolni ezt a fajta osztási lehetőséget. Ja, tehát amit mond, az nekünk az jó lenne, azt gondolom, csak nem tudom, hogy... Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Igazából nincsen ilyen akkreditációnk, sok ilyen Erasmus Plus programba vettünk már részt, azt mondtam már például online képes szótártépítéseknek, stb., de a klasszikus kérdési tevékenységet nem folytatunk egyébként. De erre tudunk esetleg kooperációkat létrehozni, csak nem tudom, hogy mire van a kérdése, vagy miért fontos esetleg. Uh-huh. Igen, azt gondolom, igen. Igen. Igen, feltételezem kell egyfajta műszaki érdeklődés, gondolom hozzá. Hát mi ezt elég szélesen határoztuk meg, viszont az iroda, a portugál iroda az úgy tűnik, hogy nagyon fókuszálna arra, hogy ez ilyen lemaradó térségekben konkrétan álláskeresők, vagy ebben a fajta célcsoportban valami jelentős eredményeket tudunk felmutatni. Mert mi ezt mindig szélesre próbáljuk húzni, tehát egy építészek, meg akárki, aki az irányba átképezni egy kicsit magát, vagy új ismereteket szerezne. De ez elég hangsúlyozott kérés az iroda részéről, hogy ebben tudjunk eredményeket felmutatni, és akkor most mi ebben valójában átükéltek vagyunk, csak kicsit még tapasztaltanak vagyunk ezen a téren, hogy kell ezt hozzálátni, és hogy kell ezt rendesen csinálni. Igen, ez attól függ, hogy hol hozod meg ezt a vonalat, hogy mi számít. Igen. Igen. Azt gondolom, hogy kicsit lejjebb kell raknunk a lécet ebbe, nyilvánvalóan, tehát inkább azt gondolom, hogy az a reális, hogy valaki, aki mondjuk már középiskolát tegyük, vagy elvégzett, de mondjuk érdeklődne, megtanulna valami újat. Hát maradjunk ennél a színnél, hogyha valami ilyesmivel, akármilyen együttműködést ki tudnánk alakítanunk, az mindenképpen előnyös lenne. Ez már megy ez a program, viszont tavaly júniusban indult el így effektíven. Szerződésünk már korábbról van, de később jött meg a támogatás, igazából tavaly júniusban kezdtünk el dolgozni, és már vannak anyagaink, de úgy van egy honlapunk hozzá, de még most a szövegek most készülnek, most véglegesülnek majd még a nyáron, és az ehhez tartozó egyéb tartalom, ami megmutatja, hogy milyen eredményeket lehet elérni ezzel a tudással, amit próbálunk így hát bevezető szinten azért átadni. Nagyjából ez fog összeállni, azt gondolom, hogy őszre már tudunk olyan dolgokat mutatni. Mm.
Hello. Are we back?
Mm. Igen. 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 Mhm. Jó. Mhm. Jó, nekem, ha értem, az, amit mondasz nekem, ez egy megfelelő út. Beszélek majd a Szervánszki Gábor kollégával is. De ez, hogyha már ki tudunk kerülni esetleg ilyen központokban, a faliújságra, vagy esetleg nem szóraanyagot oda tudnak adni, hogy ugye elhelyezhetünk, akkor az nekünk, ez működőképes lenne szerintem. Jó, és akkor a Szervánszki Gáborra próbálják valami esetleg együttműködést összehozni, ugye? Azt javasolja. Igen, megkérdezem tőle, hogy van ilyesmi. Jó, jó. Mm-hmm. Jó, rendben, nagyon szépen köszönöm a segítséget. Viszontlátásra. Minden jót kívánok. Köszönöm szépen, viszontlátásra. Sorry. Okay, sorry, I'm back. So, we always talk about the adult learners, for job-seeking people, all these things. And so I called the great national agency on this, and they just called me back from a private number, so I didn't even know who it was. And it was one of these, these head managers calling, and yeah, he said that, well, we can do some few things, like we can bring some leaflets maybe to some offices of them or something, but not a great cooperation, I believe. Anyway, I received another number, so I will go on with this. So sorry for this, but I assume that this call might have been important. So
Yeah, we have to solve that probably. The adult learner issue.
yeah, it's more difficult than we ever thought. Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. We are not used to it, I know about architecture, what we do.
And just to give some back information, so we discussed all these things with Joanna and Katarina at the beginning of the project, and so they told me that our previous project uh, received a bad score because of the not correct involvement of adult learners, because of missing the target group and all these things. And so because of this, I asked them, okay, so what will the agency tell about this new project? And so Joanna contacted the lady, and they agreed that okay, our target group is like students, university students, or all these things. So that's why they invited that school to the meeting, the survey at Porto, and so on. And then Joanna, then yeah, we received the report, the evaluation of the report, and there they started to say again that where are the adult learners and so on. I mean the job seekers and all these things. So even though Joanna tried to handle this, I think she failed with this. So we need to go back to the point that we have to somehow handle the situation.
This somehow we'll do this.
Okay.
I hope so. I just hope Andrea will take care of it from our side. Okay, should we go back to the meta shape?
Yes. Sorry. Yes.
Could you share the screen? Could you allow me to share the screen, please?
Again.
Again.
Oh my God.
But what I maybe forgot to tell you, it's not that simple and not that fast usually.
Okay. I hate Zoom.
Because if some, to align the chunks, if the data are not really good, you have to do a lot of manual work or finding a new manual targets to align, and sometimes it's a lot of. If everything goes fine with no problems, then it's an easy job doing this. But it usually doesn't go that smooth, and then you have to play with it and then how to fix it that it's a decent product at the end. But okay. Next step, mesh. So
Okay.
we created a mesh. That's the mesh with the with the triangles that are colored. So shaded or solid, you see the triangles that are created from this point cloud. It's with the solids or actually the faces. It's kind of even harder to work than with the points. You can of course, you can delete like this, but it's kind of hard to fix the solids, the faces. But usually they're good enough to work with. So these are the solid, these are the shaded that are like the colors are calculated with, and then the most useful is of course the textured one. So when you build a texture, it's another process. All these textures are made and they are like glued to the model, and this kind of works nice.
What is the correct order? So do you create the model first and then the texture?
Yeah.
And when you create the texture, do you need to recreate the model or?
No.
Okay.
Just glue it and it's working really nice. Okay. Here in this side you see it's not that good. I don't know why, but normally it's relatively nice, and it kind of hides a lot of errors in the model as well with the textures. So there is not much manipulation at this phase anymore. When you build a texture and if the model is cleaned up and well prepared at the beginning, these steps are like working relatively nice. Okay, looks like here. Okay, of course there are like dilemmas, like the doors.
Yeah.
Should the doors be open? Should the doors be closed? Uh, they will open at some point and they will close at some other point. I sometimes have them just a separate chunk. I sometimes do separate chunk with closed doors, so that when we mark the outside, then I just turn on the closed doors chunk and it kind of stops the view from the inside. Uh, and of course, what you can do is, yeah, of course, you have again like elevations and stuff, the cars that are like really not that useful, but that's the kind of a most useful end product to work with. Um, that must so in the step at the beginning at the when the because we didn't calculate it here. When the software calculates okay, sorry. Let's finish with this one. With this until the end. We will go back to some steps. The next work for you. Then you can build separately digital elevation model, which is kind of not really useful for buildings, but it's useful for like landscape, for classical topography, and the orthophoto mosaics are the views that are that ortho views of the building. That he usually takes the model for the he creates the mosaics from the model. And like I usually set the resolution that 1 mm, that 1 pixel is like 1 mm, because then it's like easy to know the correct size when you import it into any other software.
And how do you set the direction of the orthomosaic? Like, is it
Yeah.
automatic or?
No. Well, yeah, that's also one. When you start doing the model, you have to. So I have. You actually have to align it. No, sorry. You see, I can turn around the building. Here you have move region and move object. So move object, scale object, rotate object. This is the options. So I can like now I'm rotating. I shouldn't be doing that now. I usually have to set the objects to the correct location that is straightforward. I don't know why this cannot be done automatically. It has to be done manually. Let's go back to the no, this one doesn't have. Okay, let's go to this chunk. So I have number 5, the numerical keyboard number 5 changes from, you see, from perspective view to orthographic view.
Mm-hmm.
So for working, usually the orthographic view is what's really cool in the photography. And I've aligned it so that once we have an American keyboard, I can move I can move and rotate orthogonally the building. So this is now straight.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And so I said okay, I said this view, and said okay, let's make a orthophoto view from this view, like it said here. I could have done it the other way, but then you use this orthographic precision. You could have done like perspective view as well in the orthophoto, in the orthophoto mosaic, but I don't know, it doesn't make sense to make that. It has to be orthographic. Okay, and that's more or less the process of making making the uh, manipulating it. I would like to show you some other stuff.
So when you create the orthomosaic,
Mhm.
you use workflow and build orthomosaic or what?
Yeah, yes.
And then
Oh,
you don't have any option to draw a line to which it will be perpendicular, I mean the view.
uh, okay, that's the settings for the build automosaic. So you put the view, the planner,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have the okay, you can use the current view like we said, or these are like the front XZ. So these are the straight views. That kind of helps you, or if you just do the current view, that is like okay. And then you can select what he will use, like a model or a point cloud for a surface, and that this blending mode doesn't really make. Sometimes if it's bad, if the outcome is bad, you have to do you have to recreate it, and you usually have to
So let's say you have an octagonal building,
yeah,
then you can only make 4 elevations from
yeah.
this. And
Then it's
if you want to have elevations on the remaining 4 sides, you need to turn the whole model.
yeah.
Okay.
Or just select here, like top, bottom, front, back, right, left. These are basically the 4
Mm-hmm.
views of the building. They're like pre-selected. But
So for custom view, you need to rotate the whole
yeah,
model.
or you can do it like a custom view. Usually the result is the same. Um, and then there's like pixel size. The resolution I told you about. I usually like to put 1 millimeter resolution, because otherwise the pictures are too big. And you tell them what to do with some holes. Or do you want to have the inside from the model seen on the orthophoto model? You usually don't. But at the end, you usually have to go to Photoshop and to do some you have to correct some ghosting errors that usually happens anyway. Uh, okay, what was what's another kind of a funny thing? So we are going um, at the beginning uh, of the process of the aligning. So what's the logic behind it? Okay, I selected one of these pictures, and he can tell me the matches. So with the other pictures, how many so that's these pictures, like the basic. So that's the other picture, and all these lines is
Mm-hmm.
now he's drawn them to join them. So let's take a look at the less of them. So this point here is the same as these points on the other picture,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the main stuff that is happening in the calculation. Maybe we didn't select the good pictures to compare now, but this is also what we probably have to can include
Mm-hmm.
in the handbook.
So the type
So
points.
yeah, the type points that are matched from one picture to another, and that's he compares every picture with another picture, and he like calculates like on this like a lot, like 1,000 points that are okay, and he also knows that 600 are false.
So are the red ones the false ones?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
And the blue are the okay. Um,
And why are they false? Because they are not precise
he's not
enough?
sure. You see, that's he falsely identified it. You usually see that they are the wrong at the wrong angle.
Mm-hmm.
So these are like, or they're just not precise enough. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. That's the math behind it.
Or he's not sure enough, right?
Yeah, yeah. But like all these blue ones are usually okay. You can see from these pictures. The head here is like okay. So those who are just randomly scratched around the pictures are usually false. But you can here see this picture is the same.
Yeah, actually, I
They're
can see a
far
lot
and
of
they are like,
really incorrect connections in red.
yeah, the red are
Okay.
incorrect. It's right. But these blue ones are the
Mm-hmm.
he correctly identified these pictures with this picture.
Mm-hmm.
And of course that's why it's kind of a, you see what he can recognize, like the stars and in vernacular architecture, that's kind of a simpler for the software to do because there's a lot of details, a lot of irregularity that he can work with. That if you have a concrete or a white wall nicely painted, it's much harder for the software to find the points to match them. Now may ask the depthness. Sorry, I wanted to show that. So in the process of calculating, what the software does, it creates for every picture the depth maps.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how close or how far from the picture is one point. So this one are close, this one are far. And then he actually kind of works with the with this data in the background. That's something that is generally useless, but maybe it's interesting to show a picture or something from the what's happening in behind. Yeah. So what's close? Well, this beam is close to us, and the rest is in the background.
Okay.
Now that's why I'm just showing you the graphics that is kind of a there here. It's kind of you cannot really use it to work with it. It's just shown, but I think the whole calculation is basically done from these pictures, not from the not that much from the normal pictures.
From
Okay. That's it.
Okay, I only miss one thing now. It's I have a
If
question
it's just
on
one thing, then it's okay.
when you take photographs.
Mhm.
What is the ratio or not ratio the overlapping
Yeah.
between the pictures? What is the percentage like when you make a step?
Yeah, yeah, I understand you, but I want to show you, but it's kind of this is the rule inside. It's
Like, is there a preferred number to it, like 80 percentage or 50 or
uh,
something?
uh, in generally there has to be at least three, but in practice it has to be more than three pictures to overlap. Uh, because you are seeing this confidence. Um, let's go from the outside. As as much is better.
So it means to me, I'm bad at mathematics, but it means to me that you need to cover like 2/3 of the previous picture at least.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
As a rule, I would say that, or at least half of the previous pictures. But on all four directions, to say. Um,
Because if the rule is that like every part needs at least 3 pictures, like horizontally.
yeah, but the these are the pictures taken from
Mm-hmm.
the locations of pictures for the outside of the and of course with the drone pictures usually the overlapping is much higher. But higher overlapping means better accuracy, like you see here. Um,
And do you keep the same vertically as well, or vertically you might need
it,
less?
no, it doesn't matter vertically, horizontally for the software it's the same. It just needs to overlap in all directions.
In all directions.
It is better to have more overlapping. What you have to be careful is when you are like inside the room, now you have like one wall typically, and the edges of the wall you have to be careful to take the pictures of the edges. So usually you move parallel to the wall, for the main wall, and then you have to turn for the, I don't know, 45 degrees to take the joint of two walls, the edge. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where the software can combine the two walls.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It has to be another good perspective on this, on all joints, and as well as with the roof and with the floors, or the ceiling, not the roof. And if you forget that, then you have problem with reconstructing it, and then it takes a lot of time to. There usually are some edges or some parts of the building that it's hard to take pictures. Then it's not that simple as it seems, like explaining just like. Uh, now, but if everything goes fine, it's a simple building that's like really straightforward process.
Okay. So how shall we continue? Like, shall I try to write this down? What we discussed?
Yeah, that's the question more for maybe for you.
I will try, and then you can correct it.
Yeah, maybe this is the better option. I tried to explain it, it's a little bit confused, but maybe you have more you have distance to this, you can easier, it can be,
Yeah, I try to keep it short, and then
yeah,
I think the most thing that we can tell will come through the screenshots or the screenshots that you can make inside the software. But in that case, I guess so sometimes we will need to zoom to the correct buttons. So if it's a big screenshot, it's difficult to find the information.
Yeah, you can just write, I don't know, workflow, align photos, accuracy highest, press OK. Maybe we don't have this, you know. I kind of don't like that we will have the screenshot of this this box because the information is just here.
Yeah, but
And
we can what I'm used to is that we make a screenshot and then we use like a red marker highlighting what's the important piece of information on the picture.
Yeah.
I do that. I mean, I will do it that way.
But it still gets a lot of, it takes a lot of space.
Yeah, that's not a problem. It's not a problem. It's a PDF, and that's useful information, I think.
Yeah.
Even more useful than all the text.
Yeah, I agree. I like graphics for the text.
Okay, and there's only one more thing, which is actually 4. Is the description of these surveys. Like, what was the logic behind them? How many chunks did you plan with? And what were the difficulties? And what you have to merge and what you didn't have to merge?
Yeah. I started writing with this with Elena already. I think that could be interesting, and I don't know, just to put the information. Okay, there's like 1,400,000,000 points, just to get the impression what does that.
Yeah, I mean, it also makes sense to me to tell in each case how many points you generated first. I mean, the point line contained this amount, and so that Radu could work with the files. You also provided a lower amount of points, point cloud.
Yeah.
Like what we exactly did.
And how many pictures are there thrown inside. I think this could be interesting.
Yeah, I agree. So all the statistics, I think, do make sense. Yeah, how the whole project is set up and
Yeah.
what
Okay.
does it
So
contain.
should I'll prepare this part, right? Maybe for one of this.
Let's see one object first. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. One object, and then we'll discuss it. Right? Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll do this one. I'll do, I don't know, maybe for the church.
Okay, let's do it like that.
And you will do the other or this preceding meta shape.
Yeah.
And to say.
A lot from align photos to
These basic steps simplified.
build orthomosaics. I think that's the last step.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will do this. And we check these things together like next week or?
Yeah, I have a really full next week.
I mean, we have a meeting with Radu already planned for.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that could be the date when we discuss all these things.
Yeah, I won't have much done by then. Okay, so.
What was the date that we planned with Radu? I forgot.
Thursday. That's 6 days from now.
13th. Yeah, okay, I can remember now.
Yeah.
And 9 o'clock.
And I have more time. The week after that, the first week of June, I will work on the snack project on the first week of June.
Okay.
With high intensity.
Okay, so let's check what I can write down from these.
Yeah.
Next week.
And I will try this. I will prepare for the KIDE.
Okay, good.
Short report of what I have to say with numbers and chunks.
Okay.
That's not a lot of work.
Okay, good.
But I wanted to do um, for the maybe for the sawmill in Slovenia. I will try to measure how many electricity we use
Really?
for the computer. Um, um, yeah, because we'll see if that will be useful.
I'm not sure it's useful, but
No, not useful. It will be interesting. um, because there's a lot of math going behind it. The computer, and I explained it. I said, okay, you have to do something, and then the computer calculates for 1 hour or 2 hours or 4 hours, and then you have to come back. And I said, okay, that's great. I will do that at home because like then
yeah,
I
but I
can
think
run
that's
everything.
that's also useful information. So you can say
Yeah,
that
yeah. You can,
generating the
uh,
backroom point dense point cloud took 4 hours. Do you have
yeah.
this?
That's the information we actually. I opened that here. The first process is like here. It's all, the information is kept in the software.
Ah,
Like message
okay, it's cool.
10 minutes, running time is 3 minutes, then it's like optimization 4 seconds. Of course, these steps are repeated, and this is just one uh, for one part, but like the smaller chunk, it's the faster it goes. So the bigger chunk is like, I don't know.
Is it more the
What
processor or the memory that counts?
it count both.
Oh.
Usually the processor, the computer we have, but it's not shown.
So I suggest to provide your
Now we have like this is like,
your numbers,
yeah, you can go. It's
like you have.
the memory. Okay, we've already taken some memory out of this computer. The memory has to be enough, but Metashape is not that sensitive about memory.
Do you have 128 gigabyte of memory?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
and I took some memory out of it. Yeah, because it's not enough memory for that. This is actually a computer for photogrammetry. It
Okay.
has two physical processors with 16 cores. So,
Okay.
um,
I don't know how much I have, but I think it's
but
32
it's
maybe.
basically just the speed that matters.
Okay.
Uh,
So this is a brutal machine.
yeah, well, it's not that brutal, it's kind of old. And then quite some process go to the graphical card as well. So,
mhm.
but that's like, you know, like with the computers, it get updated very fastly.
Okay, but we can tell if it was 4 hours for you or something,
Yeah,
then it can take
slow computer it will be twice
even
as much.
40 hours or
Yeah,
14.
but then again, if you have a smaller computer, then you don't work with that many pictures. So then
Okay.
I can like maybe afford to work with more data and throw data away at the end.
Mhm.
If you don't have this option, then you just you rationalize.
Okay,
one step.
let's
So
highlight this information at least.
that's then easier to work.
Okay, good.
Uh,
Ah.
Okay. Then
Okay.
just to say thanks and goodbye.
Yeah, same for here.
Yeah,
Thanks a
I think
lot, Mike.
we covered it. So then
Okay.
next Thursday. Um, okay, I'll try to prepare myself to explain the do what would be interesting from him
Mm-hmm. Okay.
to show what we have done so far, and then how can he continue in the ArchiCAD in the same style, right?
Yeah, actually, he has already made a lot of screenshots,
Yeah.
and
Uh,
yeah, we just need
maybe.
to. So you already provided some text on his part, but let's ask his opinion what he could
Yeah,
add
that should
additionally.
be the plan for next time. Okay,
Okay,
great.
perfect.
Yeah, well, thanks.
Thanks a
Have
lot.
a nice
Yes.
day, have a nice weekend.
Yeah, for you too. See you
Bye then.
on Thursday. Okay. Bye bye.